Hey world, I'm Sherry, but people call me Switz. I played Division I collegiate basketball and played professionally in Switzerland and Romania. After playing ball, I moved to Brooklyn and met fashion designer Kimbali at a New York City party. And the rest is history. We are giving dope individuals a platform to share their journey and connect shared passions around the globe. Welcome to the Kimbali Podcast. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Kimbali Podcast. This is a show dedicated to elevate dope individuals, share the journey they have been on, and connect people around the world with shared passions. I am your girl, Switz. The gentleman dancing behind me in the background, that is Alex Staub. This is a comedian, a host on Men of Doozy, self-proclaimed phenomenal beard grower. I see that coming in. Line producer, performed at all of the famous New York City comedy clubs that you can think of. So basically what that sums up is, this is going to be a hell of a show, because if you have done the comedy club circuits in NYC, I know you've got stories. So as excited as I am to get into that, this show is all about, like I said, uplifting other individuals, sharing their story. So we got to start with baby Alex. Tell me, like, where you're from, like, where did this passion, like, how did it start? When did it start? Like, take us back into time.
I also just remembered this. I'm also a published poet.
And you're a published poet?
I'm a published poet too. Yeah, I was, this was like high school, I think. I wrote a poem about my dog, my childhood dog, right before she died. Oh. And it's a tearjerker. And I submitted it for something. No, my English teacher was like, this is crazy. I'm submitting this to like someone. And it got published in a book, and then I got Poet of the Year with that company or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. Already with the stories. All right. Well, first and foremost, you're already talking about high school and everything that you used to did. So where did you grow up? Where are you originally from?
From Massachusetts.
Oh God. Are you
I'm a masshole. Yeah.
You're a masshole?
I'm a masshole, as they say.
The gold mic gave it away. I'm not going to lie. I'm just
kidding. Is that what it is?
It's pimp. It's pimp as fuck. I'm not.
Hey, but there's a thing. It came like I was like, I got this on Amazon, right? Great price, and
sure, blame it on Amazon.
Give me the gold. See, because you get the little condom thing on it, right?
Yeah, you know, it's COVID. I gotta have a condom on it. Gotta be careful. Like everywhere I've gone where there's mics, they have the little condoms over them.
So you can't get COVID if you wear a condom, is what you're saying?
For the through the mouth mic to mic.
Yeah, just wear a mask. Yeah, if you wear a mask and a condom, you'll be fine.
Protected on the top and the bottom.
Right.
So you're originally from Massachusetts.
Yes, ma'am.
So were you like the class clown? Like, were your parents always getting calls about you getting in trouble? Like, was comedy since birth through elementary, middle, or did it happen later? Like, how did you blossom? How did you transform?
You know, I feel like I've always kind of been like this. I feel like I'm, this is weird to say, but I literally feel like I'm, like my soul is like the same person who I was when I was like 5. Oh. I literally feel like the same person. And, I was like in the family, my like home family. I'm always the one making everybody laugh, in school. I was always the one making everyone laugh. The teachers hated and loved me at the same time. I didn't do that well grade wise because I just didn't care. But I also like wasn't going to school because I was like, I would take like months off each year and just perform like 10 shows in theater a week in like Boston. And like, that's what I wanted to do.
In high school?
Yeah, high school and middle school.
You were already touring in middle school and high school?
Yeah, I was a little child theater star back in the day.
Get out. Like, and you took months off. Did you have the support of your parents, or are they going to find this out?
Oh yeah,
they watch this episode.
Oh no, they wanted it. They drove me there every day when I couldn't drive, and then when I finally got a car, I was driving. Yeah, I did that all the way up to senior year. I was doing, because I hated school. I knew what I wanted to do, and that was just to be in entertainment. I just felt like I was benefiting outside of school rather than like learning math. And I mean, know your math, I guess, but I don't know the times tables and I'm still doing fine. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're here. So
Yeah.
did you know in middle school, in middle school, I'm doing this for the rest of my life.
Elementary school. I would, and the teachers hated me because I love making people laugh and like feel good about themselves, and just be in like a good mood. I like being around that energy, or if people like aren't in that energy, I like trying to like see what like makes them laugh, or just like have fun. Cause that's I mean, that's the best state to be in, just to be happy or like be around someone who makes you feel, amazing.
I couldn't agree more. Like, why not be positive? What's the alternative? Just be negative? And miserable? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
You knew that you wanted to be in the entertainment since elementary, and then you were already touring in middle school and high school. So what happened after high school? How did you keep going on this path and pursue it?
Well, I was a big actor back in the day, and when college came around, I was like, well, I could just go to college for acting, but I was like, I already have acting in the bag. I don't need to learn.
Confident fellow we have.
Yeah, I was like, I already got that in the bag. I'm fine. I mean, I can act. I was like, I can act. I don't need to waste money on just more acting. I was like, what can I do? I was like, what do I want to do? And I love creating my own stuff. So I was like, and I wanted to do more like film and television stuff. So I was like, okay, I got the front of the camera down. I want to like be behind the camera and just learn how to, write, direct, produce, star in like my own TV show or movie,
AKA so you can make your own Alex Staub TV show, pretty much.
Basically, yeah. I mean, there are so many big stars that do it, I mean, so I wanted to learn the whole behind the scenes of the industry so that I could, show up to a set one day and be the star of it and the creator of it, but also know, I know what everyone's jobs is down to like the PA getting coffee. You know what I mean? So like I can move everybody and just know what's going on. And that's the goal, to have my own show on a network.
Good for you. So whenever you were learning the behind the scenes, producing and everything you were getting involved in, is that whenever you were also still like on the New York City comedian club circuit? Is it did that happen at the same time?
Yeah. So I always, I didn't want to just focus on, I still didn't want to lose the spark, of acting while I was learning about the whole behind the scenes. So while I was, I told myself that if I'm going to learn everything behind the scenes and build that up, I also still need to be building up, the acting as well. So, and then when I came to New York, I everyone told me I should do comedy, and I took a shot at it and did my first show. I did like 3 minutes, but it was good material. I don't know. I all my friends were there, and I
3 minutes. It sounds so quick, but for you, that probably felt like a lifetime because it was like everyone in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm used to like being on stage, so like the crowds and whatnot is like I love that energy, but like to like tell jokes and whatnot and like have format and everything, and it was I was nervous for that, but it went really well, and there was this girl who was kind of like a scout in the audience, and she approached me after the first show and was like, hey, I do this other show at the Broadway Comedy Club. Come, do little spots here for us, and then we'll see how you go. And I started doing shows with her, and then other people saw me, and then she referenced me to people, and then I went to just start doing. It was just meeting people, knowing people, and just doing it, as often as I could, because it was addicting. I loved it.
And the rest is history. Isn't it that what all it happens? Like it's one place where you meet someone and then like all the connections just start flying about. And I got to be honest, I'm so happy that I have you here because I absolutely love stand-up comedy. Like I was a regular at the Eastville Comedy Club. I think they moved to Brooklyn now, but I would always go like on their Friday or Saturday shows, and they were either like wildly amazing or like a ton of people bombing, but it was still just entertaining no matter what. You know what I mean?
I love watching people bomb. I love it.
Do you help them out at all? And like, try and give them a laugh or two? Or are you like somebody who's also like, boo?
Oh no, I say nothing. I say nothing. I don't know. I don't help people out. I don't help. I sit there and I'm like, ooh, I love the cringe of things, right? Like even when up there, so I've bombed a couple times, but it's only because I didn't have my material locked down, or like I was trying something new and I didn't have it locked down enough. Otherwise, I'm usually fine. But yeah, bombing sucks, but it's also, I don't know. I enjoy
part
it.
of the process, right? It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. But I mostly just do like crowd work. So that's just off the fly anyways. So,
That's usually the funniest too. Like people love just picking out somebody and being able to be like off the dome, who they're with, what they're wearing. Yeah. Is that your style, would you say?
Yeah. So what I started to do was, cause when I started to see myself be like, okay, don't bomb, focus on the material. And then I was just like, what is this, dude? You like, just be you, have a good time, go out there. And so I was like, you know what? And so I started to test myself, and I was like, because I also in college, I also did a whole bunch of improv down in Orlando. So I was like with that theater and whatnot for a while. So I was I was good with the improv, and I told myself, do like one joke, and then for like the last like 2 minutes, just start talking to people or whatnot.
Off the riff.
Just do it. You can only I was like, you can only tell this joke, and then you have 2 minutes of you don't know what's going to happen, so you better pull something out of your ass.
Must be exhilarating.
It was challenging. I love just like being in that unknown. It's like, what do I do? And a lot of funny stuff has happened because of it. There was if you go on my Instagram, I got some videos of like, there was one time when I was like talking to some guy, and I ended up just going, he had like guacamole, like chips with guacamole. And I ended up like going and like eating the guacamole with him. And he was like feeding me guacamole. And I don't know. There's just like weird stuff has happened during, I was like hitting on some moms. Now I'm going to have to check that out. But it's all funny. Yeah.
Well, pull back the curtain for me a little bit, if you will, for everyone watching. Cause a lot of people don't know, in the comedy world, people are usually testing out their material, and like what you've heard them say is something that they've already been doing on the circuit and perfecting. Like people don't understand, like it's a grind, it's a job. So maybe not for you because you're excellent actor and you're great at improv and you don't need any training. But for some of your friends, but for some of your friends who like are doing it the other way, like, and these other great comedians have, perfected their work. Like describe that a little bit of what it's actually like, behind the glitz and the glamour and everybody
like
just laughing at your shit. Yeah. And like how you test that, and like how that is at, like, you've heard the joke for the first time and you're laughing your ass off, but that comedian has probably told it 20 times at different clubs trying to see how it hits right.
Yeah. Well, it's a rush too. When you get a joke just right, and it's like a great opener joke, and it gets a laugh every time you're hitting it, it's just, I mean, it's addicting for the comedian.
Yeah, it's like being in the zone. Since you've done,
it's like I've seen you, right? So you play basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like you do you have like a favorite spot on the court where like you like shoot a 3-pointer?
Yeah, I'm a self-proclaimed mid-range assassin, the lost art of basketball. Everybody's dunking their threes, elbow to elbow. Like you put me on a court anywhere, like I'm probably going to be 9 out of 10. Yeah,
so it's basically like you setting up the perfect shot for like in your favorite spot for like that 3-pointer, and that feeling when it goes in every single time. That's what it's like when like because that's all you know what I'm saying. And
I love how you made it relate to me.
Yeah,
I love that. I feel this is what you do. Like you're watching in this moment what this guy does. This is it. This is the secret sauce.
You got to make it relatable. Right.
You're letting people in on the secrets. Well, since you've been on the New York City club scene, I mean, I know you got stories. Like, come on now. Don't leave me hanging. Like, you've seen some crazy shit. You've heard some crazy shit. There's all these TV shows that like make it funny, and it's like sitcom worthy now. And you've lived that. So
Yeah.
what are some memorable stories of, being on the New York City comedy circuit?
The first one that comes to mind is I was doing a show, and I wasn't performing, but I was kind of like watching someone else perform, and I was kind of like in the back, and this guy comes back from the bathroom, an audience member, and he's so drunk, and he's walking through like the crowd of people, and he just falls, and he takes this one table down with him, and just all these like food and drinks just go flying on like everybody, and he's getting up, and he goes to get up again, and he like puts his hand backwards, and he puts it on another table, and it just pushes that on people. This guy made a huge mess during the show, and I thought it was hilarious. It's mostly, most of the stories are just drunk stories.
But those are, what did the person on stage do? Like the person trying to be the comedian while actual comedy is happening in the stands with this drunk individual. Like, did they milk it up? Did they like, never mind, I'm wrapping it up, just watch this guy? What did they do?
Yeah, no. So they shut it down. And he was more just like, whoa, someone help him, blah, blah, blah. I would have been like, yo, I would have just started laughing because that's good. But
That's comedy content right there.
That's content. That's all content.
Well, since you're in the comedy world and you've probably grown up on some of the greats, like I just got to say, like one of my favorites of all time is going to be Chris Farley, Robin Williams, RIP. So do you have any like go-to folks that like you've emulated their style, or maybe they were just like ones that help you fall in love with the passion? Like who's like your favorites?
My top three comedians, and they're just kind of like, and these are like the top three, but they're all just kind of like at the same level for me. It's not like I like one more than the other. They're all kind of like these, like my style is like the three of them kind of combined. It's Bill Burr, obviously, from
you got that look. You got that look.
I do now. I wasn't, during the quarantine, I shaved my head and I love it. So I'm going to stay bald forever now. Well, I have to, because I was balding before. But and then the second one would be, do you know who Brian Regan is?
I feel like I've seen one of his on Netflix.
Yeah, check out Brian Regan. He's a clean comedian, but he'll take like everyday thing and just be like, make it so sarcastic and just be like, this is stupid the way we do this.
That's borderline Seinfeld right there.
Yeah,
the show
like
about
that.
nothing.
Yeah, like a Seinfeld. I don't really like Seinfeld, but Brian Regan, Brian Regan's like a Seinfeld, but
you subconsciously might like Seinfeld. I don't mean to
I do. I like
a little bit, but
I appreciate what he's done. Sometimes I don't. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I meant the show. I didn't mean the
show. No, the show's good. Yeah. Sometimes I don't think he's funny and he misses the mark sometimes, but I like the way he thinks of things and the content. But anyways, then the third one is Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh, love Sebastian. Love Sebastian.
Yeah.
Great choice. Great.
Yeah.
That also some great Netflix specials you gotta check out.
Yeah, the way he rants about shit and just makes fun of people. Like I love doing that. So I'm like a combo of like all three of them.
Oh, that's a great combo right there. And probably coming up, all these people back in the day while they were making it, testing out their material, had to deal with some asshole hecklers. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever had to deal with a heckler?
Yes.
Tell me about, like, how did you handle it? What did you do? Like, was it ended in fisticuffs? Did you put him down? Like, paint that picture for me.
It was there was one time where I'll give you, there was one story where I got heckled, and this is like early on, and the first time I got heckled, I didn't know what to do, and I ate it so bad, and he kind of like took the show from me, and I was like, oh God, I was like, that'll never happen again. But I was up there, and I was closing out. There was this headliner at Dangerfields, and I was supposed to do a guest spot in the middle of the show, and the booker was like, "Oh, you're gonna go on after the headliner." So I had like the check spot, and so this headliner just crushed it, just destroyed it, And at the end, he goes, "Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Enjoy yourself." He literally was like, everyone was ready to get up and leave. And then the guy comes out and he goes, the booker comes out and he goes, "We got one more guy for you. If you guys don't mind just like waiting around a little bit." I was like, "Oh, shit. Okay." Set me up for failure right there. And in the front were these like two big, like Tony Soprano type of guys. And I go up but he tried to talk me up a little bit, the booker. He was like, "You've seen him on Conan and he'd Comedy Central and whatever," and I haven't. So
he just made it up.
He did. He hyped me up as like I was this big guy, and I was like, "Oh God," just so they would be like, "Oh, okay, let's see what he's got." So I go up there and I was doing well for like the beginning. And then one joke I have it's a really good joke, but it's like a little long. And I guess halfway through, the guy for the Tony Soprano guy in front of me was just like, he takes out his phone, he starts texting, and I just remember the screen being so bright, right? And he's just on his phone texting, and he's like talking to his buddy, right, like literally right in front of me, and I don't know, I kind of got out of it, and like people started not to laugh, and I was like looking at this guy, and he was just like making noises, like whatever. And he was like, "Oh, is this guy still going?" Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Oh, shit." And so I look at him and I was like, "Oh, what are you, I was like, what are you texting there?" And he was just like, he was, oh, what'd he say? I was like, "Who are you texting?" Or no. What'd I say? What happened? He shit on me. He was just like, I was like, "Oh, who are you texting? Yeah, you like talking about me or whatever?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, and it's nothing good, blah blah blah," because I was just bombing at that point, and everyone was like, "Oh, whoa," and they were like, "That's me. You shouldn't say that." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I had a moment to just bury him, and I wasn't quick enough, and I just kind of like just.
I was gonna say, now looking back on it, you probably had a ton of material. Like
Oh
you
my
said,
God,
Tony
now
Soprano looking dude.
It still haunts me now.
Do you want to get it out? Like you're the one. Look at you now with your gold mic. Looking. You got the sexy look going on. Go ahead. Go at those dudes that were in the front.
Fuck you. Okay.
That's it. That's all
fuck
you got to say.
That's it.
Fuck
That's
you.
all.
And fuck you. And
fuck you.
Thanks for helping me out in the back, but fuck
You're
you.
cool. Fuck you.
I love that one, dude. All right. I thank you for sharing because, it means a lot when people can be vulnerable.
Yeah. But so what I learned from that after was like, okay, I need to be in control of the audience. So that if anyone tries to heckle, I'm already on point. I'm not, I know where everyone is, what's going on, where the vibe is, what's happening, so that if someone snickers something, boom, shut up, you little green shirt looking hobbit looking, what, you know what I mean?
Gotta be quick.
You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. You gotta be quicker than them to shut them down, because people be like, whoa. And so that is kind of why I started doing improv and crowd work, because when people are watching the show and all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, what's your deal, bro?" People immediately are like, "Whoa, he's interacting with the crowd now." If I say something, because then if I start talking to the crowd, I'll get more comfortable, and like the wall will be broken, and I'll just be more fun with it. Because then if someone would say something, I would have a quick response, or like they would be talking about something. It'd be more interactive because people are. They're paying more attention because they're like, "Oh shit, he could call
I might be next."
Yeah, I might be next. Oh shit, I don't want to talk. I don't want to blah blah blah. So like, if I start heckling the crowd, I get the jump up on them. You know what I mean?
Basically, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, that's how you don't get heckled. You heckle first. You know what I mean?
Oh, I kind of like that. I like that a lot. So the journey is just fantastic as far as you knew what you wanted to do. You pursued that. You've done things, behind the camera, in front of the camera. Talk to the folks that are listening, and it doesn't even have to be the same passion, whether it be acting, whether it be doctor, and they just know early that they want to do it. Like, what is your words of advice? What's the blueprint that you would share to stay on this path of where you've been. You're doing what you love. You got to like pimp gold mic. You know, you just drinking midday with me, talking about yourself. This is it. This is the dream.
You are so jealous of this gold mic.
I'm sorry. I said gold mic like 3 times.
You are so mad. You're
I know.
Where's my gold? The next episode, you're probably
I'm sorry.
gonna have
I got to talk
mic,
to the producers. Hey, director,
exactly.
gold mic, write it down next show. But yeah, like
exactly.
for real, like how do you give that advice to embrace the person that you are, the path that you want, and just go after it unapologetically? Stay true to yourself. Love yourself. That's the main thing right there. You just gotta really be your own best friend, and just trust yourself and love yourself, and just don't be excited to like try something new that you want to do without because there's going to be a lot if you want to try something new and it feels right to you, in your soul, stick with that, because there's been so many times where I would have like a good idea that I thought was a good idea, and I'd be like, I want to do this, and people would be like, no, that's stupid. And they would start picking it apart. And then I would get conscious about it and then be like, oh yeah, that is stupid, because what's his name said that this would look weird maybe. And then I would just there's a lot of projects that I've just trashed and let go because I've listened to other people. And I've stopped doing that, a while ago. And when I did, I started doing my own stuff. And if you stick with it, people will catch on or they won't. I mean, obviously, if you have a bad idea, also realize when you have a bad idea too. Don't just be like that shit go.
If something in your gut is like, okay, blow up this school bus, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Go get help.
Be a good human being. But speaking of projects, this is the part of the show where I definitely want to give you a second to shout out folks that have been watching, been like, yo, dude's funny as fuck. I want to follow him. I want to be his next heckler. How can people follow you, tune into the show? Give us all those plugs that you have going on right now.
Oh, is the show over? Are we done?
Yeah. This is where I want you to plug yourself. We always want to end with, if someone wants to continue on the journey, how do we continue to follow you? Like if your IG, if your Twitter, the show you're part of.
Well, my name is Alex Staub. Follow me on Instagram at Alex Staub. I'm on, you can check out my podcast, Men of Doozy, with my co-host, Kirk Cause. He's on Instagram at Kirk Cause, but also go to Instagram at Men of Doozy. Check us out on YouTube. And our podcast is all about just being more successful in life. It's like a tutorial type of thing, but so we're teaching you how to be successful. And at the same time, we're also learning how to be successful in that subject. So it's kind of comedy, but it's a good time. We play video games. If you watch Twitch, go to Men of Doozy.
Literally another episode that's going to be coming out is a friend of ours, shout out to Kambali, who owns a basically museum for video games. Like, so basically everything you'd want to play from back in it, like Punch Out, Super Mario Kart. So this is what it's all about. Like now that's going to
be a lot of money one day.
Yeah. Oh no, it is. Now we're all going to have to link and we'll have a party. We'll play video games. You can go head up on stage and bomb. I'll heckle you.
Yeah. No, I'm going to heckle you first.
But I mean, did you already hear about, he was like, oh, this is already over. Clearly he's in love. We've already connected. It's such a good vibe. Everything's been such a good time.
I just want you to keep staring at this gold mic, so I
know. I'm hypnotized. I'm not even gonna lie, but I just want to say
everything's simple. The plugs, it's just my name or Men of Doozy, so go check that out anywhere.
I love that you changed your voice too, and I was like, go ahead and talk about yourself, and you're like, so my name is Alex Staub.
Hey, traffic on I-95.
You went real Barry White on us real quick.
I'm never gonna give you up. right?
Well, no, I love it. I love it. But I can't even tell you how much of a blast it has been. It's to the point where I'm like, we're going to have to bring you back. We're going to have to talk about it.
Bring me back. Let's go.
You'll be the first reoccurring person on the show. That's going to be pretty dope.
I could come in for like 2 seconds and be like, what's up? And then bounce. There's like, let's come up with like a reoccurring. I could be like the weatherman or something. You could be like, let's go talk to Alex about what's going on.
Yeah. And you're going to come in with your red solo cup and your gold mic and then just flash behind the scenes.
Yes. I'll be like, weather's great. It's like, you're back to you, you know?
Well, I do say that this has been a blast talking to you, getting to know you. I really appreciate you coming on. I hope everyone watching has learned something about following your passion, sticking to what you love.
Follow your passion.
Follow your passion. That's it. That's what he meant to say earlier.
Yeah. Enjoy yourself. That's what it is. I enjoy myself too much sometimes.
Well, there's nothing.
No, that's not true.
You can't enjoy yourself too much. But I do want to say that this is Alex Staub. I am your girl Switz. You are tuned into the Kembali podcast, and make sure you check out all the other episodes. Have some great things coming. Thanks again, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Kembali podcast on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Kembali Podcast. Kembali gear can be purchased at www.kembali.com. That's KEMBALII.com. And you can stay up to date on merch drops by following the Kembali brand on IG at Kembali_. New podcast episodes drop every Monday at 7 a.m. See you next week on the Kembali Podcast.